In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to set up a brand new Amazon to eBay dropshipping business that's almost entirely automated. And actually, the process I'm going to cover in this video is the same one I've used before to create multiple successful eBay dropshipping stores. For instance, you can see here that I grew my first eBay store to over $100,000 a month in sales in less than a year. So at this point, I know that this process works, and you could just copy exactly what I'm going to show you today. As usual, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and then subscribe to my channel because I've made hundreds of videos about different ways to make money online that you definitely don't want to miss out on. All right, let's get into it. Now, obviously, one of the first things you'll need to do is actually sign up for an eBay account. And this is free to do, so just head on over to ebay.com, and on the top left, you'll see that you can either sign in or register for a new account if you're brand new. Now, the first thing it's going to ask you is if you want to create a personal account or a business account. My recommendation is that you go for a business account. There's a chance that if you do it that way, they will give you higher limits on your account, which I'll talk about in just one moment. The other thing that's important to be aware of here is that during the setup process, they're going to ask you for a lot of information about you, and you want to give them as much information as they ask for and make sure that all of that information is accurate. Without that, there's a chance that down the line, maybe in a few weeks, a few months, they'll temporarily lock your account until they verify that you really are who you say you are. So to avoid that from happening as much as possible, just give them all the information and all the correct information right now while you are setting up your account. The other thing you need to be aware of is that every account on eBay has a selling limit, which I mentioned before. This is the number of items you're allowed to list and sell within a single month. If you hit this limit, you can't list or sell any more items until either the month resets or you get eBay to raise your limits higher. So as a new seller, you really want to be focused on getting eBay to raise the limits on your accounts. So for instance, here's one of my accounts that I don't really use too often anymore because I have several eBay accounts. But this one right here, you can see my limits are 1,000 items or $100,000. And that gives me a lot of room on this account to grow it and to add a lot of products into it. Now, the fastest way to grow your limits and to get eBay to raise them is simply to sell cheaper items at break even and then make sure your items actually get shipped out and get to your customers, and make sure you upload tracking numbers for your sales as well. And when you do that, you prove to eBay that you can handle more sales, and then they're more likely to raise your limits higher. Once your eBay store is completely set up, you'll next need to find the products that you're actually going to sell. You're going to find the profitable winning products. And this all comes down to doing product research. That means we're going to be looking for products that are already selling well on eBay and making people money, and then we're going to go ahead and sell those same products ourselves. And this is really important because, like I said before, you're limited in the beginning, especially in the number of items that you're able to sell on eBay every single month. So what you really need to do is maximize those limits by selling items that people actually want to buy. So there are a few different ways to do that and to do product research, but I want to show you what I found to be probably is the easiest way for beginners to get started with product research. So we'll start out by coming here to Amazon.com, and I want to head over to the best sellers here on Amazon. Come to best sellers, and basically what we're looking for here is a random best selling product in any category. I'll do kitchen and dining because it's one of my favorite categories to sell. And let's just look at this one right here. And we don't particularly care about this product itself. What we're going to do is use this product to find other drop shippers on eBay who are doing Amazon to eBay. So what I'll do is I will copy down the title, or most of the title, come over here to eBay and search for it. And what I'm looking for are basically sellers that are selling this and that are drop shipping this themselves from Amazon to eBay. So I see a bunch of people doing that right here. But I'm also zeroing in on the name of the store and how much feedback they have. I want a seller that has at least 30 feedback, if not 50 or higher, because that's going to tell me that they have enough sales history, that they have enough products that we can look at to see what they're selling well. That's going to make more sense in a moment. So this seller just doesn't have enough feedback. Let's see if we can find one here. Yeah, like this seller right here has 65 feedback. So this is a pretty good one right here. So what I'll do is I'll open up this listing and then come to this seller right here. This says the seller information. I'll click on their name and I'll be able to see all the items for sale in their store here. And what I'm looking for here are products that they have already sold a number of times, especially in the past month. So if these items are selling well in this store, then I can go ahead and drop ship these same items or similar ones myself. So for instance, the exact waffle maker that we were looking at, it looks like it has sold at least once. We can open it up and kind of see that, yeah, it sold twice. We can see that information right here. So that's really good to know. So this is a winning product right here. So I would go ahead and sell this exact waffle maker myself. But coming in here, we can see some other items that they might have sold. So this one says last one, which usually means that it's sold as well. So opening up this one, yeah, this one sold at least once. This was a sponge holder. So I can find this one on Amazon and sell it myself. And the way I do that is by coming down to the description, highlighting a chunk of text and copying it. And then we'll go to Google. I'll search for what I just copied. And yeah, here it is. Comes up right on Amazon. So that's another product that we can sell ourselves. So this is a bit of a lengthy process because you have to go through these one by one. This item right here, it doesn't say that it's sold, but when you open it up, it might have sold at least once. So that's why you do have to open these up one by one. It is a bit of a tedious process, but it's one of the best and simplest ways that I have found to actually find products that have already sold. Now, if you want to automate this process and do it much, much faster, then you'll want to use a website called Zeek Analytics. This is a product research tool that is designed for eBay sellers, and it does a whole lot, but I just want to show you now the simplest way that I found to actually use Zeek Analytics. So I will click on the product research tool here on the left, and I'm going to search for that waffle maker. And scrolling down right here, we can see all of these results right here, which are similar to eBay, but what Zeek Analytics has done is you see all these different columns to kind of organize all this information. And what's really important to me right now is this column right here, which is the amount of feedback. So I can actually sort this by the sellers with the highest amount of feedback, like this seller right here, which has over 60,000 feedback. But let's look at one maybe like this one that has about 2,000 feedback. Now, we know this person's drop shipping because we found this product on Amazon. They're now selling it on eBay. You can even look right here at this little icon, and Zeek Analytics is telling you here that this is in fact a drop shipper. They're really certain that this is a drop shipper right here. So we'll actually look at this seller, and all we need to do now is click this button that kind of looks like a private investigator. It says scan seller. We'll click on that. And now Zeek Analytics is actually analyzing that entire seller store. So this is exactly what we did kind of manually before. And scrolling down here, we can now sort by how many times these items have sold in the past 30 days. So this one has sold 4 times in the past month. This one has sold 3 times. This one has sold 3 times. This one has sold 3 times. And we can do this exact same process where we're just looking up these items on Amazon or wherever else they're being sold, and we can sell these exact same ones. And the cool thing is we can now go back to this list, which was again the results from the waffle maker, and we can scan another seller and we'll get the exact same readout, but of totally different products that are doing well. Like these ones that have sold twice, these ones that have sold twice in the past month. And you can just keep going and going and going with this, especially with these bigger stores, and literally have hundreds of products that are just given to you by Zeek Analytics that you can now drop ship yourself. Once you've found some products you want to sell, then you're going to use a software called AutoDS to actually add these items into your own eBay store. So if you click the link in the description for AutoDS, you'll actually be able to sign up for this with a free trial. So you'll land on a site that will look something like this. We can click on the top where it says start now for $1. So it actually does cost $1 for the trial. Go ahead and set up and get through the sign up process right here. Now there are several plans here that you can choose from, but you'll want to avoid any plan that just says import, like this one right here, because this one doesn't have all the features that we need and that we want for dropshipping on eBay. So you can start with the next plan up, which right now is called the Starter 400 plan. After you select your plan, it will then walk you through the entire setup process and help you link your eBay store directly to AutoDS. Once the whole thing is set up, it's actually very easy to add products into AutoDS, which will then list the items onto eBay for you. So to start, all we're going to do is click on the top left where it says Add Products, Single Product, and you need to grab the URL for this. So I found this vegetable chopper right here. Someone else is selling it on eBay. You see it sold 9 times right here. So all you need to do is copy the URL, come over to AutoDS and plug it in, and it should automatically update the supplier to Amazon. And now we'll click where it says Edit Now Quick. And the reason we're not just directly publishing it is because we first need to update this title. This title right here is not the title we want to use on eBay. First of all, it's too long. We can only use 80 characters and this is 182. And second of all, we want to make sure that we put a title in there that is really strong, that is fully optimized, so that when people are searching for something like this, they're actually going to find our product first, to get ranked higher in the search results. So this is called title optimization. So this process is partly creative on our part, but we're also going to be using some data, some information as well. So I'm going to come over to Zeek Analytics, and they have a tool here called Title Builder. And what you want to do is plug in kind of like the basics of what this is. So this is a vegetable chopper, right? So we'll type in here, oh, where'd it go? Vegetable chopper. And what Zeek Analytics will tell you is other things that people search for when they're searching for the word vegetable chopper. So we see that vegetable chopper is searched 15,000 times, vegetable fruit chopper 46,000 times, chopper cutter food 43,000 times, 15.1 23,000 times. So as long as these are relevant, there's some other ones over here, we are going to include these into our own description. So in this case, looking at this is a vegetable chopper, onion dicer, what else? Steel blades, kitchen gadget, vegetable, fruit. All right, so I'm going to start with vegetable fruit chopper because it's a really well searched for keyword, vegetable fruit chopper. So I'll do vegetable fruit chopper. The other things are 15.1. Is this thing like 15.1? 14.1. So yeah, I think that's close enough. We'll do 14.1. In 1. They also search for potatoes, chopper, fruit, kitchen, cutter, dicer, slicer. So we'll put in here cutter, dicer, slicer, right? Because all those words are relevant. Food, so throw in the word food here. Dicer, food. Right now I'm just throwing the words in. I'm not really worrying about organizing them in a coherent manner. We'll do that in a second. What other words? Onion. Throw the word onion in here. And potato. Does potato work for us? I don't think this really cuts potatoes. But you can also go down to the description for more information. Yeah, potatoes. So we can throw the word potato in there. Potatoes. And we probably can fit one more word. You see that we have 73 of 80. So let's try to squeeze one more word in there. Chopper, cutter, slicer. Do we have all those? Chopper, cutter, slicer. Yes, we do. Hand chopper. All right, let's throw hand in there as well. Hand. All right, so that's now full. Let's just quickly organize it. I really like the first few words to fully describe what this item is. Like if that's all we had, people would have a good idea of what it is. So vegetable fruit chopper, that in and of itself is good. Then the rest of it, we just try to make as much sense as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect or like a perfect sentence here. So 14-in-1 hand cutter, dicer, food slicer, onion, potatoes. You know what? That's pretty good. I think we can leave it right at that. And that is a well-optimized title. Why? Because we filled it with so many of these keywords that we know people are searching for, which will really increase the chances that now when people are searching for this item, our listing is going to show up above everyone else's. So after I'm done with that, I can just go ahead and click Save and Import, and that item will now be added into my eBay store. Because AutoDS is now connected with your eBay store, it will automatically run many aspects of your store for you. For instance, if the price of the item on Amazon changes, AutoDS will update the price of your item on eBay. Or if the item goes out of stock on Amazon, AutoDS is going to change it so it's out of stock on your eBay store as well. You can even set it up to automatically fulfill orders for you. So as people buy stuff from your store on eBay, AutoDS can pull in that information and then automatically order those items from Amazon for you. It can even then upload the tracking numbers for those orders once they become available. So as you see, this really makes the process so much easier and automated, which is why it's so great for beginners who are looking to get started with Amazon to eBay dropshipping. And again, you can sign up for AutoDS with a free trial using my link in the description down below. Now there's one last area we need to talk about that's very important, and that's customer service. Customer service involves answering messages from customers, responding to return cases, and responding to item not received cases. And I'm not going to get into this too much because there are some really important things here that would take a while for me to explain. We just don't have the time for it right now. But just be aware that you need to stay on top of all of that. It's very, very important to do that. And it's actually very manageable if you do it every day or even every other day. But failure to stay on top of all of it can really ruin your eBay store. Now, obviously, there's a lot more that goes into creating a successful eBay dropshipping store, but I wanted to give you a rough outline here of how the whole process works. If you want an in-depth kind of step-by-step guide, then head on over to dropshippingtitans.com or click the first link in the description down below, and you can sign up for my course that will walk you step by step through my entire process for creating a six-figure eBay dropshipping store. Or if you're just here for the free stuff, then check out this other video I made recently that goes over the biggest mistakes you need to avoid when dropshipping on eBay.